did not comply with me. So here we are. Second day of our training on how to get more leads organically on social media. And today we're going to talk. So we're going to talk about how you can use events to sign up clients before they even come to your event, right? So that's going to be today. Yesterday we talked about your profile and positioning yourself appropriately. Today we're talking about events and how you can use them to generate clients. And then tomorrow, we will be talking about other engagement methodologies that you can use to have conversations with people on social media that are A, not awkward, they are not cold spamming and good spamming and DMing, but lead to meaningful sales conversations. All right. So that's what we're going to do today. And when it comes to events, if you have ever done an event like a Zoom webinar or you've been at a Zoom webinar, what always annoyed me is that when you go on those webinars as a participant, you hardly get any value, right? So you hear about why you're in the right place, and then the people talk about their own journey and what they've learned and what they're going to share with you, and then they're going to share something with you for about 10 minutes. Yes, 10 minutes of value, and then there's another 20 minutes, half hour of sales, and it's like these days people have figured it out. Yes, and we try to copy this because it used to work at one time. And one of the people that I follow, Amy Porterfield, which I admire and like, she was the master of it, and to this day a lot of people follow some kind of version of her blueprint where at the end they just sell. Okay. uh, and for the people that are giving the webinar, it's very often very awkward because you come to the end, you gave some value, you bonded maybe with some of the of your students or participants, and now you need to tell them, I actually want your credit card. So always bothered me. And then I was thinking about what if I could find a way that I can sign up people before they actually come to the event? And then when we have the event, it's all going to be value, and we're all going to be friends. It doesn't matter how many people are there, but because I've done my all of my sales beforehand. The reason why this is important is that that poor people invest time to make money or to save money, whereas wealthy people spend money to save time. So when people sign up for an event, they don't have time. They want to save that time for something else. So if we go out and tell these people, you know what, I'm going to save you time. How about I can get you the results faster? You don't have to come, but if you and I meet real quick, then I can help you get whatever you wanted out of the event faster. So that's the idea uh, behind it. Go to webinars and they go to trainings and they sign up for courses and online courses, maybe even go to networking events or conferences and so on. But what we see is that let's first talk about who your clients are, where they are, and what type of clients events are for, because it's not for everyone. Okay, so when you look at you offering, they have connected with you at one moment in time for whatever reason. Maybe you sent them request to connect because they've showed up in your feed or in your suggestion list, or vice versa. So you're connected. You have nothing in common with them. They're strangers. They don't know you. You don't know them. There's no trust. Nothing, right? So chances are, when you post something on social media, that these are the people that don't see your posts either. Okay. Um, Ticket item, which most business coaches and consultants have, you probably we want to have an appointment first and talk to them. A, you want to know if they're the right people, indeed, and B, they would want to know more, a little bit more about you before they sign up. Okay, so so uh, now you need to schedule an event. Again, I'm not going to be able to show that to you how that works on LinkedIn and Facebook and respectively, but you'll figure it out. It's relatively straightforward. Maybe I cover that in a separate session. If you want that in a separate session, let me know and here in the comment box, and I will cover that eventually. The process. When you date, you're on Tinder or whatever. I haven't done this for a while, but if I did, you're on Tinder, you swipe by very superficial criteria, and then you start a conversation. And the purpose of this conversation is to decide whether or not it makes sense for you guys to meet. All right. To start a conversation, not selling, starting a conversation. Okay. Um, so if you sell too fast, you're going to get shut down. So that's not what I'm saying. What I'm you. Same on Tinder. Like I'm famous for making those connection or those analogies to dating, but because the psychology is the same. Okay, and do in this call it can go either way, right? So the person that you've connected with and start talking to, they may be like, yeah, it's not there's nothing here for me, and stop the conversation. That's totally okay. That's their right, but so can you. All right. So that by publishing an event that has a topic that is relevant to them. And when they register, what they have communicated to you is that, this topic is important to me. Doesn't mean that it's important enough that they attend, but they can resonate with it, with your topic, with what you want to share. But they, again, they may not have the time, and we know that 75% will not show up. So what we're going to do now is when they register, we start a conversation. I saw that you registered for my workshop. What made you register, or what resonated with you? Um, or you can start qualifying. Are you a coach? Right? Are you a business consultant? Are you a writer? Are you auto repair shop? Whatever your clients, your client base is, and then you have a conversation. The idea of this conversation, of course, is that it's casual, it's not pushy. And if you take the approach that you select rather than sell, you have a totally different attitude on the call. Most people that you start a chat with or conversation with will not advance it because you have nothing in common. Same with Tinder or Bumble, right? So Match.com, what in my case, at my time was Match.com, okay? So you have a conversation, doesn't go anywhere. Okay, totally fine. Happens with most of the people, but with the ones where it's a match, that's what counts. Okay, so that's to give you hours and days I spent on those freaking PowerPoint slides, and making sure that the flow is there and taken out, and not being sure whether the flow works, if it's too long, too short, figuring out how to make the transition to the sales call and so on without looking cheesy or coming across as a sleazy car salesperson. Um, Hours, if not days, people spent on it. And then the next things can go wrong. It's like technologically and technically very highly involved. I don't know. I gave a workshop once, a webinar once, and the moment it started, boof, you know, electricity went out in my entire neighborhood, and problem, right? So I was able to go on my phone, but I wasn't able to show my slides. It's number one. So other things can go wrong. People cannot log in. People go to the event page and tell you that uh, they the link doesn't work for whatever reason, or they don't get access, or they don't have the password. Your internet may be stable. They might be unstable. They may be sitting in the car and not paying attention. Somebody has their microphone on, and you have all that noise. It's like very stressful for everyone. And It doesn't matter if like it's just Aunt Mary and some of your colleagues and peers and competitors and some people that just want freebies. Yes, doesn't matter at all because you've done all your sales up front. And when you have that meeting, can be a conversation like this, no PowerPoint slides. You just have your iPad out like I do, or a whiteboard in the back, right? And you whiteboard things. You just have a good time with friends. Yes, everybody learns, everybody benefits from it, and then it's over. I actually start my webinars with that, saying, you know what, if you're expecting a sales pitch, then it's time for you to sign off right now because there aren't any. I'm looking for clients, and if you're interested in wanting to know more, here's a link to my calendar. If you want to schedule, happy for you to do that. We have a 10 minutes conversation and then see where it takes us, right? So, and that's it. And I may reiterate that a few times with in the workshop, like exactly like I would do right, I did right now. So that's how that works. You know how often people come back to me and said, and send me emails and said, Andrew, I went to your webinar and I'm very surprised you didn't chase me because the price never chases. And if you have something to offer, if you provide value as a consultant or business coach, you are the price. You're not chasing. All right. So during the event, very, very relaxed. And that's how you use an event without stress to sell with a webinar. We call it the webinar that doesn't matter. Yeah. Um, and it's super relaxed, super successful. People appreciate that you gave them a shortcut and try it. If you want to know the whole system, let me know, put the comment in here, and I will get you a link to get to my calendar. And we can talk, and I'll give you some more pointers and a little bit more of material that you can use to make your events successful even before they started. All right. So my name is Andrew Lawless. You detected my accent. I'm a German speaker. I was born in Germany and have worked as a consultant for multinationals in the US, for Fortune 10 companies in the US as a consultant as well. At one point, I was a consultant to the FBI's Behavioral Science Unit with top secret clearance as well. And these things are all techniques that I used with everything that was to my disadvantage, my non-citizenship status, my at the time my accent, uh, cultural differences. Because Germans, we are considered to be rude and direct and not funny. Um, so yeah, I was up against all of that. And by the way, I dropped out of high school. No, college. Sorry, college. So didn't have a degree, and then started to work for the World Bank in Washington D.C. In a position that formally required a PhD or an MBA. So if I can do this, you can do that too. Okay. So I gave you some of the strategies here. If you want to go deeper into the how, schedule a call with me and you and I talk and see how we can take that further. All right. Thank you very much for being here. And I see you tomorrow, same time, when we talk about increasing engagement on social media, particularly Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. See you then. Tschüss.